Okay, so we're gonna see if this works. I know Tony Garcia was able to do this the other day and didn't have whatever I had just happened just now, which was plain out scary. Kind of creeped me out a little bit, but thank God you don't have to be a professional at working a bunch of technology to be able to have success in this business. So with that being said, guys, we have a action-packed call lined up for you all. I'm going to be turned over to, someone that has been absolutely amazing, been growing like crazy, and more importantly, helping other people in her team go out there and win in a big way. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Gabrielle.
Hey guys, how are you guys this Monday night? I am, first of all, so honored and thankful to be able to lead this team training tonight. Thank you, Chris, for having me on. I really appreciate it. This is such an honor because I'm just so thrilled and so excited for what's happening here. You guys know that our amazing company is just like the best, and we have so many exciting things coming up that I just really can't contain myself. So for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Gabrielle Merle. I have been with Elevacity since, I believe, mid-April. I am Black Diamond right now, and this is my second network marketing company. I have been in the industry for 2 years before this. Hi, everyone who's saying hi. Oh, I love it. Yay. So I've been in the industry for 2 years before this, my second company, moderately successful at my first company, but unfortunately didn't really have the tools and systems in place to help my team achieve the same. So after being there for a while and realizing that I wasn't really able to get and help as many people as I had originally, as I want to, I started looking. And I started looking for some very specific things. First of all, if you guys don't know Melissa Lucas, she is my direct upline. She is the best ever. I had followed her on social media for a few years. We talk about attraction marketing a lot. Girlfriend is a master, and she's who I've learned a lot from, and I'm just super thankful for her. So I paid her to say that. Just a little plug for you, Melissa. But no, I followed her for a while, and when I started looking for something else, I saw her posting about this coffee that makes you happier, maybe helps you lose a few pounds, and can make you, maybe more patient with your kids. By the way, I've got 3 of them. They are 7, 3, and 2. We are busy, busy, busy. I am scatterbrained in all directions at all time. It's actually kind of creepy that I'm in a quiet room by myself right now. I'm used to kids flying into Zoom calls from every direction. That's just how my business rolls. I'm also an acupuncturist. This is my acupuncture table behind me. So, just do all the things. Anyways, lost my train of thought there for a second. But what I was looking for, right. So when I saw Melissa posting about this coffee, it just totally spoke to me, right? Who else in the world doesn't want to, like I said, have some more energy, be happier, possibly lose a few pounds, have some more mental focus and clarity, right? It's something we're all looking for, and it's coffee. Does it get any more simple than that? Probably not. Really quickly, actually, I want to know how long have you guys that are on tonight, how long have you been with the company? Am I talking to mostly new people? Have you been here for a while? Just so I can kind of know what kind of topics and where to kind of direct. Okay, we got 1 month since May, 6 months, new. Hey, Tara, 10 months. Okay, so y'all have been here for a while. Most of you, some new people. Yay. Oh, look at that. Awesome. I love seeing all these comments roll in. Okay, so great. We've kind of got some from some everywhere. So I asked on our smaller team call this morning what people wanted to hear about, and a few of the topics that rolled back in were handling social media and specifically stories. So how many of you guys use stories to share what we have going on here? You just want to write yes or something in the chat just so I know, or if you're unfamiliar with it, or if you feel like you need a little help with it, write help, just so I can see kind of where we're at. Okay, so we got some helps, help. Okay, and yeses, great. All right, so stories for me are really big, right? We talk about attraction marketing, and we talk about curiosity marketing, and some of the girls that are going to be speaking on here tonight on my amazing team who I love dearly are masters at that. So I'm going to let them kind of tackle the attraction and curiosity marketing as far as posts go. But I was just going to touch on the story aspect really quickly, because I think that stories is a place where even if we are utilizing it, there are always some tips and tricks for getting your word to more people and being more effective and having your story seen by more people. So I get asked a lot for story help. Things that I like to do that are really simple and really duplicatable. We all have our customer team pages that we use, that we add people to and tag them in testimonies. I like to pick a theme. So say today I'm going with mood elevation. I'll find some great testimonies in there. I'll screenshot them. I like to blank out the names and make sure they don't say, you know, for this eyes only, don't share. If they say something like that, don't share them. But I like to screenshot them. I blank out the person's name. I pick maybe like 4 and I'll put them in a row. And then at the end, I'll do a poll or something that says more info or how do I get some? And if you guys don't know how to do a poll, it's fairly simple. There's like a little icon at the top. It kind of looks like a little notepad. Click on that and you can choose options for your poll. And I like to choose, like I said, 2 positive answers. And the reason why I do that is because whichever answer you get, that person is a lead. You're not having someone say no to you, right? We never want that to happen. So you have 2 positive answers. How do I get some? Or send me more info. Those are really, really, really effective ways to get leads in a very kind of passive manner. I also find that talking to the camera is really effective too when you're using your stories, because a lot of us are nervous to go live on Facebook. And when you're using your stories, you can talk for 15 seconds, and if it's not what you wanted to say and you're not comfortable with it, you can just delete it and start again. So stories are a really great place to practice talking to the camera and using those fun tools like the polls and the little slider emojis. Those are really great too. Love that idea. Choose a theme for the day. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I try to keep it so that it is coherent. One thing I learned about stories, something that really stuck with me, is when you use stories, you want to actually tell a story. You don't just want random things popping up. You want to tell a story. So that's why I choose a theme, and I'll do a few that are on the same kind of topic and then end it with a poll. And that's just what people expect from me. Or when you get, one thing I also really like to do is share customers' testimonies that I personally get, text messages. If you have someone that's like, oh my gosh, this coffee is great, I just lost 10 pounds and I feel phenomenal and it's amazing, screenshot that, crop out their name, put that in, sorry, we're on a main street and we got cars going by. Crop out their name, but share that, because those are the kind of things that people want to see, those real testimonies. And they work really, really, really well. So that's kind of a little bit about stories, the way that I like to utilize that. I hope that was helpful. Let's see, what else was I going to touch on today? Sorry, like I said, I'm like scatterbrained when I don't have my kids. They almost like create focus for me. Let's see. Oh, another one that I got asked about was steps for finishing out the month strong. And this is kind of a big one because we have so much going on this month. We have convention. We have talk of new products. We have other exciting talks going on there. And this is another way that you can utilize your stories. I like to do like little teasers like, hey, you know, for those of you guys out there who may not be coffee or cocoa fans, we have something really new and exciting coming up for you. We hear it's going to be fresh and awesome. Let me know if you want to get on my wait list or on my sample list. And then I'll have the poll, you know, how do I get some? Sign me up, get me more info. Because all they have to do is click a little button. No one's messaging you. No one's out of their comfort zone. Like, people are much more likely to just click a little button, and then suddenly you have this list of leads to follow up with as soon as we know what the new product is. Like, how simple is that? So that's why I'm not even kidding you guys. My posts, you know, I put thought into them and they're good. And I work really hard at my posts. But most of my customers come from stories. So if you're not utilizing your stories on Facebook, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to, because they are an incredible tool to utilize. So Now that I kind of rambled about those things, I wanted to introduce you guys to a few people from our incredible, incredible team. The first person that I want to introduce you to is Miss Lindsay Olson. Her and I have known each other since our littles, our 7-year-olds were babies. And she's someone who I'd wanted to work with for a long time. They say your dream team, right? And she's definitely one of those people. So Lindsay, do you want to introduce yourself and kind of say hi?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Lindsay. I am an RN and I have 3 little ones, and I am currently a stay-at-home mom to them, and a 16-year-old exchange student from Germany. So our plate is pretty full. I have done network marketing in the past. I have not had an experience like this one at all, though. And because of that experience, I feel like I'm really able to know and appreciate what we have here. I really feel like we hit the jackpot. And I feel very, very blessed that I'm one of the lucky ones that found this. If you can hear my kids, sorry, they're yelling. And if you're on this call, you are one of the lucky ones too. So don't take this for granted. I really hope that you all know that. So I got started with this business in July, and we have a really amazing team. We hit gold in our 2nd month in August, and that volume, it might not mean a lot to everybody, but if you've done direct sales before, you know that that's a very big deal. I was at my other company for over a year, and I didn't even come close to that, and I poured my heart and soul into that business. And so I was doing way less, but it was way more heartfelt, and it just happened so very quickly. And then in that 2nd month, that's when I realized, like, wow, this is going to be really life-changing. This is crazy. And the biggest thing, if I can do this, then other people surely can. So basically I threw everything that I knew out the window, everything I thought I knew about direct sales. And I was like, okay, Melissa and Gabby, teach me, tell me what to do, and I will do it exactly. And that's where people really win here. If you follow the steps and you follow the system and do as the leaders say, you will be successful here. And what's so great about this business in particular is you don't have to be the social media cool kid. In many, many other companies that I've seen, the successful ones are always starting off as an influencer or with tons and tons of followers. That's very unlike what we have here. These are just very real people. And the ones who are successful on this team are just sharing their experiences, following the system to a T, and really importantly, being coachable. That's huge here. So I just wanted to just touch on attraction marketing or curiosity marketing, because that's why I'm here. Because of Gabby's genius curiosity marketing. So when I first started seeing her post back in April, she was saying the things that she was getting done. She was like checking off her to-do list. She was getting all these loads of laundry done. Like still having energy at the end of the day, feeling super happy, and all while having like 3 tiny little kiddos at home. And so she was also using lines like, all because of changing one thing about my morning routine. And I was thinking, what is her new morning routine? What is she doing? Tell us. Or all because of what's in this cup. Same thing. What's in her cup? I need to know. It's such a mystery. And at the same time, I was also thinking, like, no way, that is way too good to be true. But I was also getting truly, really curious. And every time she posted, I was getting more and more of that feeling of curiosity. I had to know. So that kind of brings me to consistency. So did I purchase the coffee based on her first post? No. What about like her 5th or 6th post? No, not even then. So even though I wasn't commenting or asking her about what it was or even liking her posts, I was watching her like a hawk. And because of her being consistent and continuing to post, that was what eventually hooked me. So that's just to say, even when someone's not liking or even acknowledging your posts at all, that doesn't mean they are not watching you. They're watching and they're waiting to see if you're going to be consistent and if you're going to maintain that enthusiasm. So finally, when I couldn't take it anymore and I just had to try it for myself, it was at the point I was also really interested in the business side as well. And that's because she never wavered in her enthusiasm at all for the product. And if anything, she was just becoming more and more excited, talking about her excitement for what the business is also doing for people and what the products are doing for people. So really, without her consistency, I would not have ever tried this. So another thing is, okay, let's do an analogy for social media for consistency. I heard once that it's like a really busy street, and I look to this every time I think about social media. So let's say you go out to this busy street, you pull out a platform, and you say, hey, everybody, listen to me. I love Happy Coffee. It's done this and this and this for me. I know you're going to love it too. And then going back home. So that just doesn't work. People aren't going to be like, oh yeah, I totally trust her. I want to be doing what she's doing. I want to take whatever she's taking. It doesn't work. So we can't just stand on the busy social media street and say, here's what you need to know. Okay, bye. So we have to connect with people, introducing them to this Happy Coffee over and over again. So you know that when you have a relationship with someone, it's way easier to trust somebody and dive in when they're telling you this stuff is amazing, really. So it's not going to work if you just go out there to that busy street and give your little intro to coffee. But what if you go back the next day and the next day and the next? Everyone on that street is going to be watching you every day. And every time they learn a little bit more, they're going to learn about you. They're going to learn about your life. And then when you're vulnerable, people are going to have that Me Too aspect. And so then afterwards, what if you talk to them? You compliment them on their life. You have conversations. You're showing them that you care about them too. And so when you culture those relationships, that's when people are going to trust you and they're going to want to do what you're doing. So build those relationships. Just posting about coffee is not going to work. So just spend time investing in those and that will pay off. And lastly, I just want to say how incredible the culture that we have here is. It's something very, very unique and special. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. These leaders actually show up and they actually really, really want us to win. And I've seen that proven time and time again. And in their minds, it's not about them ranking up. They really, what they care about is us reaching our goals and getting this product into people's lives. That's really what they care about. So don't take this for granted. The help that they offer to us is real. And if you want to go places in this business, you can get there. And I've never believed in an opportunity as much as I believe in this one. So the leadership we have here will literally show you the way. They will hold your hand every single step if that's what you decide you're doing. And then look at Mark and Judy. They heard some people weren't going to convention because it was going to be too hard financially. And so what did they do? They put the most amazing offer on the table, and that was to pay for convention tickets. The tickets that are going to get us in the door for all of this amazing energy and excitement, all this teaching that we're going to receive, the fellowship, everything. And that in itself means so much. And could they have stopped there? Sure. I'm sure a lot of people would have gone based on just that alone, but because of who they are, they took it even a step above. And they're also paying for a hotel. So that is incredible. I have never, ever heard of leadership who does this. This is so far above and beyond the proof that I needed that I'm in the right space. So
Good boy. That's a good boy.
Mark and Judy, thank you so much. You're helping me get there. You're helping some of my amazing team get there. And we could not be more thankful and excited. And so that's a really big representation of the culture that we have here. So don't take it for granted. It's far beyond what others have, I promise you. And that in itself is going to propel you forward. And that's all I have. I'm going to pass it back to you, Gabby.
That's all? That's all you have for us, Lens?
I know, sorry.
No, that was amazing. And so incredible. I absolutely love that analogy of the busy street. It is so true. A similar analogy I heard, it's like having your store light on. You know, I know that not all of us build on social media, but myself and Lindsay, we have 3 children each. I'd say the majority of our team is like the hot mess mama express. For us to like actually get out in the world and talk to people, not always the easiest thing. So social media is kind of our avenue that we choose to take. And so for me, it's like having my store light on. So you said the busy street, you got to get the attention. For me, I look at social media and consistency, like keeping your store light on. If you post one day and you're excited, and then you go dark for 2 weeks, they're like, I guess the coffee wasn't that great. I mean, she's not even talking about it anymore. So that's why the consistency is absolutely key. Is Nancy Willette on? I don't know, but I steal her line every single time. Conviction, belief, and enthusiasm. If you have those 3 things and you're sharing the product with those 3 qualities, it just works. So along that line, I'm going to introduce another amazing woman from our team, Miss Amy Jo. Are you on? I don't see you, but I only see one screen, and there's 8 of them. Are you there, girl? Oh, I see it. Oh, with a little sidekick to boot. Hey, buddy.
Hi. Can you say hi? No? Okay. Hi, you guys. Lindsay, that was so good. Oh, my gosh. So hard to follow. She said a lot of the things I was going to say. Not say also, but she had a lot of really good things to say. So I'm just going to kind of add a little bit to that. My name's Amy. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3 boys. I started in network marketing a little over 3 years ago. I was with a fitness company before, and I had seen some success, kind of like Gabby. Me and her, I had followed her on social media, and we were super similar. I had seen some success, but I couldn't get my team to get to where I was. And it was just, I would go up, it would go down, it would go up, go down. And I actually, about 6 months ago, started another company. It started off really, really amazing, and it just went downhill every month. And during this time, I had been watching Gabby, and I was like, God, I wish I had seen this opportunity before I started in the other one. You know, I kind of felt stuck. And so Gabby said, you know, kind of touch on that, how you were scared to start over. And I think just, I was so scared to start over. I was scared that I was going to confuse my market, my audience, and just being real, being authentic, kind of explaining like exactly what happened. People relate to that. And I think, I forget what I was going to say, but Brody, can you stop jumping around back there, baby? Come here. Come up here.
See what I mean, guys? This is our whole team. We literally have children flying in at all angles all the time.
Was he doing flips back there in his underwear? Sorry.
Oh, he's so great. He's so great. And you're doing great. I know it's super distracting when the little ones are flying around. But it's real life.
Yeah, right. I forget where I was at, but I think being real on social media is people can tell, and people I don't know, like today I did a post, and I used to try to push post out just to be just to get a post out during the day, and if I was pushing out a post just to post, it wasn't always true to me. And I know like we want to be consistent, but now I kind of just wait until something happens that day. So like today, my morning was shit. And excuse me if you guys have kids out, but it was awful. And so I was just a hot mess mom today on social media, and so many people commented, and so many people can relate to that. And then I say how Happy Coffee is helping. So, yeah, and with my company before, I guess the next thing I wanted to talk about is just, Gabby said how you're getting customers, and it's been really, really easy following the simple, sorry. Brody helps when he's here and then he's gone. I'm like, where's my other focus? So, the getting people into our customer group has been, I've never had anything so laid out from our leaders before and so simple. Like with my company before, we had to like dissect, and it was like questions back and forth. And with this, like, we just follow the simple system, and that's what I've been doing, is just following what you guys have taught us to do. And that is, when people are interested, they reach out and they ask, and then I ask, have you heard about the Happy Coffee everyone's talking about? And then most of the time they're like, no. And then you just go into about what it's done for me, and then get them into the customer group. And I know a lot of us have customer groups here. And so the customer group has been doing all of the work for us and for me. And I'm just so thankful for it. I know, the simple systems. So, sorry.
You're a master at it, Amy. You really are. No, you're so great at it. I know that your posts are always real, they're authentic, they're truthful, they are just so honest to you, and that's what attracts people. I say to people all the time when they're working on their social media posts, you don't want to come out with something that's just like, oh, I have more energy, I'm more focused, I lost weight. People like to see specifics. Like I saw like 6 of you guys in the comments say it was Gabby in the laundry that got me, because moms sit there and they think to themselves, oh brother, there are 15 loads of laundry over there. I do not want to do those. So for me, I'm like, I just did 15 loads of laundry. I'm happy. I'm jumping around, smiling, having a blast. And moms are like, what is she using? Like, how do I get that? And that's what you do as well. And you're so fantastic at it. And then you're right. From there, it's just our simple little system. Hey, do you drink coffee? Have you heard of the Happy Coffee everyone's talking about? This is what it's done for me. And you got to check out what it's doing for these other people. Hop into the customer page. Bam. Amazing. And that's the simplicity of what we have here. And it's just so beautiful. So if you guys don't know where to start, that is the place to do it. And Amy, do you have anything else that you want to close out on?
No, that was perfect. Thank you.
No, you're welcome, my friend. You're a star, and I just love you. So the next person that I wanted to introduce you guys to is my dear new friend, Lisa. I'm going to butcher your name, girlfriend. I cannot get your walls. Give up.
Well, it's my husband's name, so you can call me whatever you want. We'll go by Walt.
Well, if you want to introduce yourself to everyone, Lisa's only been with us how long now? It's such a short amount of time.
It's just a month.
Just a month. And she is just blowing through this thing, just an incredible powerhouse of a woman. She's a beautiful story. So I wanted her to share that with you guys, because I'm so inspired by her.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm Lisa Walzak. Yeah, I've been, with Happy Coffee for about a month now. And, my story is a little different. My background is in corporate kind of marketing and tech consulting, and I've been doing that for close to 20 years. And I'm just going to back up really quickly, because I think my story is a little bit different, and so you might get some value out of that before I go into what's working. About 6 years ago, I kind of had we had a devastating diagnosis. I was experiencing some really odd symptoms. I wasn't able to focus. I was falling over with my newborn in my arms. I was losing functionality in my legs. And I found out that I had relapsing and remitting MS. And my whole family, my husband and I, took that really, really hard. And but in that moment, and it seems like it went so quickly, and I'm sure in the time it felt like it was years, but it was a very quick period for us where I decided immediately that was not an option. I was not available from MS. I was not allowing that to happen to my life. And that was the first time that I decided that something was not going to happen for me, and it didn't. And in that moment, call it divine, call it whatever works for you. I understood my infinite potential and that there was something so much greater planned for us, and that I had the opportunity, this one kind of opportunity in this life path that I had on this planet, to take control of that. And do something bigger and better. So fast forward to where we are now, 5 years later, I am healthy. I have not gone on any medication, no pharmaceuticals whatsoever. I quit my job about a week after that diagnosis. My husband quit his job at the hospital. We decided we were going to jump into something that we wanted to do together. We had no plan. My mother was living with us. She had nowhere to go. We changed everything because it was an immediate calling, and it was an immediate decision, and it had to happen. And as soon as we started to make those decisions, the universe literally just lined up and said, yes. And my career, my employer said, you can quit, but actually here's another job, and you can work from home, and you don't have to travel anymore, and you don't have to stay up all night, and you can have more money, and you can help us to train people and develop others. Do you want to do that? And I was like, what? No brainer. So I was able to work with my husband to create a business on our own, which we are actually just about to jump into. So my actual final day in my full-time career is this Friday, which means unfortunately I can't make it to convention, but I will be there next time. But anyway, how does that all line up to where I am right now? Well, over that time, I kept feeling, no matter what, that there was still this, even though I was in my career that was so much better suited for me and my health, I just knew that there was something else, that I had a bigger calling to reach more people just by sharing my experience. And I jumped into a bunch of MLMs, and the last one actually cost me well over $12,000 just to get started. So $12,000 in products that I initiated to get that business off the ground, and unfortunately did not get to where I wanted to go. Did I make some money back? Yes, but I didn't have a system. I didn't have a team. I didn't have the resources or the people that I could reach out to ask the questions. I didn't have the guidance. So I was kind of left to do it on my own. And that was sort of okay because I've always done things on my own, but it just didn't work out. So what I learned this time around, though, was simply through just a quick conversation with someone just like you guys, and sort of just talking about what we talk about, right? The stresses of our normal day-to-day life, and essentially learned a life hack, which was happy coffee. And I tried it, and 1 month in, I said, bing, ding, ding, ding. The light went off, the fire in my heart lit up, and I said, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do it right now. And I did. Now I can't even tell you how many times I'm having conversations about this coffee. I made the decision to jump all in. I've had a conviction in my heart the entire time. I've taken inspired action the entire time. And I can tell you, just by taking that inspired action and activating my faith constantly every single day and what I believe in, and faith in myself, by the way, I think this is really important. Not faith in everything else, but faith in myself, and following my own intuition and making my own decisions when I feel those little pings. Like for today, I jumped on a go live on my personal page. I haven't done that, and I can't even tell you how long. I have nowhere. Felt like it had to be done, jumped in, I did it. 5 minutes later, I have people pinging me and texting me about, that was amazing. Like, so what are you talking about again? I've been seeing your post. The more you can be authentic and real with everyone around you, the more that you can be a beacon for others to feel comfortable about sharing their own story, the more it just happens automatically. People like to buy from people that they trust. They need to have these relationships. So that has been an amazing thing. I can't tell you how many people are just having conversations with me because I'm having conversations with them. And that is all I've been doing for the last 30 days, and things have completely taken off. The other thing I can just say, around, make your decision, start following up consistently with inspired action, being relatable and honest as much as you can, even about the messy, hot mess stuff. I mean, I talk a lot of my friends that work in these corporate settings, and we're so used to playing in the men's league, if you will, and squashing down all the stuff that we're used to. We cry in bathrooms, we hide in conference rooms, we hash our things out. We need to have these conversations. And this is literally a life hack. I can't tell you how many of my coworkers have already started tapping into this stuff. But the other thing to remember too is, and it was mentioned before, is we're in for the long game. We're in it for the long game. So even when I started this 30 days ago, I'm having people, just before I jumped on here, someone was like, wait, I'm sorry, I've been seeing all these posts again. I need to know more about this. And I was like, I will get back to you in 3 minutes, after this call, to follow up. Because if you keep up with your consistency, the conversation just continues behind the scenes, and you don't even have to see that conversation happening in somebody else's head. So that's a little bit about my story and what I've been doing. And really all I can say is be authentically you, the only way you can. Be scared. Who cares? Share it anyway, because everyone is going through the same exact thing. No matter what they do, no matter where they are, they're dealing with these life stressors, and they need a little bit of help, and they definitely need a little more happy.
I love that. Thank you, Lisa. You can just, I mean, the first time I met you, I could just feel your passion and enthusiasm through the phone, and it comes across in everything that you do. I'm just so thankful for you. I know that you're going to do a lot of things and change a lot of lives, like we all are here. And along the lines of what you were saying, about the belief in our products. And if you haven't had that life-changing story for yourself, go find your team customer page, go read some of those testimonies, listen to your customers, hear those stories, because I believe in these products, like you were saying, Lisa, so strongly. I believe and I know that they can change lives. I feel like it is my job, not just because I get paid to, but I have to do this. It's my obligation to humanity, really, to share these products. And it sounds so ridiculous because it's a cup of coffee, but the messages that I get from people, and I'm sure you've all gotten them too, about how people are getting out of bed without pain, how they're losing weight, how they're suddenly happier, how they're better moms, how they're not snapping on their children. Those are life-changing things. And what we have here is such a gift. And the more we can share that with that enthusiasm and that strength and that conviction, that belief, that enthusiasm, Nancy Willette, that will never die. But the more we can do that, the more real we come across to our friends and our family and our people on social media. And like you were saying, Lisa, again, people buy from people that they like, that they know, and that they trust. So the more vulnerable we are, the more we share with that passion, the more lives we can change. So I hope that you guys got some value from this. Chris, I will turn it back over to you. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing, and everyone, thank you for being with us this Monday night.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Again, always so much value from these ladies. I look at all the posts that they make on Facebook, and I want to copy and paste everything they have. But a lot of it has to do with being a mom. So I can't go copy and post. But at any rate, I really have been impressed by so many of the amazing leaders that we have in this group, and just watching these posts that are it makes me want to find out what it is that they're doing, knowing we're already working together, which is kind of crazy. But incredible information. Thank you so much for the value. Thank you for sharing. So guys, I was driving the other day, and I don't know why this story came up, but I was thinking about how people are so much we're just programmed to go with the masses. We're programmed to be like cows, like cattle. And I know this sounds crazy, but I'm sitting there and we're going down the road, and multiple times throughout the day, I kept getting caught in traffic, and it was for nothing every time. I mean, it's like people some people slow down, so everybody slows down to look at something. You get there and you're wondering what in the world everybody's looking at, and they're not looking at anything. There's nothing there. There's nothing that stopped it. There's nothing that slowed it down. And this is the part that really just drove me absolutely nuts. And it made me realize how impressionable people are, and how they just go with the masses and they don't have independent thinking, or maybe they just haven't ever learned how to drive. So how many of us know what a yellow flashing light is for? A yellow flashing light is to slow down and have caution, but it's not to stop. And I'm watching these people, because the idiots in front of them are stopping, every single person is stopping like it's a four-way stop. And they're sitting here taking turns, going through a yellow light. And I'm sitting here going, what in the world is wrong with these people? Like, it was the first person that goes and stops. And then everybody else, instead of thinking, or, I mean, is it that people don't know how to drive, or are we just so caught with following the masses? We're so in tune with just going with the flow, what everyone else does, that we forget what the rules are, right? And the bottom line is that, you know, if we live our life from a place of what the masses are doing, what I'm going to let you know is the masses normally are wrong. The masses are normally not the ones that you want to follow. Yes, we say, have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's talking about? And the reason why we say that, guys, is because everyone thinks like the masses. They immediately think if the masses are talking about it and they don't know about it, that they need to find out about it because everybody's talking about it. But the reality is, guys, if you want to be a leader, you have to step out above. You have to be, and you've heard me use the analogy, extraordinary. Because so many people are ordinary. So many people are just doing the mundane. They're just going with the flow, doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. And guys, to be a leader, you have to do the extraordinary. It's to become extraordinary is not some big deal. Like, I'm looking at all these people stop. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, guys, it's a yellow light. You drive through it. And if there's somebody about to go, you have caution. If somebody pulls out in front of you, you stop. But you don't stop like a four-way stop sign. Point being is that so many people are going with the masses. You don't have to step out to be, you know, people think that you have to do so much more to be successful than what you really have to do. Listen to what these ladies shared tonight. Why did they basically get started? Because Gabrielle went out there and did it over and over and over. She was what we call consistent. Well, what the masses are consistent at is quitting. The masses are consistent in finding a reason to quit. They're basically complacent. They will find reasons, because guys, we're all looking for reasons, and it's funny. We have people, I don't know if they're on this call, but I know we have people that are in this team and they're looking for reasons on why it's not going to work. And they're looking for many different things to validate why they're not having the success that they were having. Or why isn't it going like this? Or why isn't it going by that? But guys, it's really not that complicated. If your mindset is focused in on where you don't want to be, which is where you might be right now, guess where you're not going to be? You're not going to be in the success zone. You're not going to be where you want to go. And it brings me to another story. I don't know if Gavin's on here or not, but I remember when Gavin came out on the boat and he tried to wake surf. And the funny part is you can see it when he got into his head and when he started to self-doubt and self-talk. Basically, it was pretty much over. Like, he wasn't going to get up. And it's not that it's that hard. It's not like it's this big, crazy, hard thing to get up behind the boat on a surfboard. It's really not. And when we teach someone, we teach them step 1 is this. Step 2 is that. Step 3 is this. And one of the things that we teach someone when they're surfing is, and by the way, Gavin did get up when he went out on somebody else's boat a few weeks ago and he was sending me videos. I did it. But the funny part is that I could tell when the switch went off in his head when he was behind the boat and he was telling himself he couldn't do it. I already knew that he wasn't going to get up. And I could tell based on the way that he was acting, the way that he was talking, and all that I already knew. And it's funny that, you know, you have people in your team that you kind of know based on their language on if they're going to be able to make it or not. And with that being said, guys, when you understand what people are going through and you can just help them and move them forward and help them go back and bring themselves down, because look, every single one of us have in us what it takes to go out and create success. but it's the stories that we tell ourselves that hold us back. And one of the things that we teach people, like when you're surfing, it's so funny because people want to look down. And what happens is they turn their body and they look down, and what happens is wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. And what happens is when you look down where you are, it keeps you stuck where you are. When you look at where you are today, and many times you start asking yourself dumb questions like, why can't I win? Why can't I do this? Why can't I? Guys, this is the deal. Disempowered questions are going to bring you disempowered answers. You ask yourself, why can't I get ahead? Why isn't it working? Why aren't I succeeding? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Your subconscious mind will answer, because you're not good enough. Oh, because the comp plan is this, because of the shipping, because of the this, because of the website, because you're going to come up with all kinds of disempowered answers, which are going to just validate whatever it is that your filter, whatever it is that you want it to take in. Because whatever we focus on, we attract. Whatever we focus on, we basically, like, so many people focus on their bills, and then they wonder why they're always stuck in debt and disappointment. Because you're focused on where you are. And see, when you look down on the surfboard, it's almost guaranteed you're going to fall and stay where you are. But when you look forward, so I'll tell people to look across the boat, because what happens is when you look across, it turns your body, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. And then what happens is, and I'll have to go do another video when I'm out there and show how it works and talk about it when it's in that process. But it's so crazy. Like, you can literally look down and the board will just stop moving. But when you look across the wave, it causes your body and your shoulders to square up, and you'll go down the wave where you want to go. See, because the wave flows one way, but so many times people think they need to go the other way, and that's not the case. But guys, wherever you focus on, your energy is going to flow that way. So if that's the case, how about we focus in on where we want to be? How about we focus on the way we want our life to be? How about we focus on the way we want our relationships to be? How about we focus on, see, so many people are so stuck in the now of where they are that they can't see where they're destined to be. And the thing is that we were all designed for greatness, but then we look at our experiences as being the way that it is. And your past doesn't equal your future. Your past, what you've gone through, where you are today, does not dictate where you're going to be tomorrow. It really doesn't. It's a matter of where you tell yourself you want to be, where you focus on what it is that you want to create, what that looks like, and more importantly, what it feels like. And guys, all you have to do is just a little bit more to be extraordinary, because again, it's just extraordinary. It's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more consistency, a little bit more of this, a little bit more than that. You know, last week I posted a video about how much I hate working out, right? Like, I hate freaking working out. Like, I think that if it's metal, it should be picked up with like a forklift or a hand truck or something like that. Like, I don't want to do anything. I just don't. If there's an easier way to do it, like, I'm going to find the easier way. And then I want to be in shape. And he's telling me to pick up the stupid metal, right? And I'm sitting there going, that's just not even fun, right? And what I recognize is that, you know, the worse it sucks, the bigger your muscles get, right? So it's like we look at our life and we look at the struggles that we go through, and then a lot of times we want to quit. We want to give up when it gets tough. We want to give up when it gets uncomfortable. But the bottom line is that muscles come from resistance. And the more resistance you have, the bigger your muscles are going to get. And I know that when I'm working out and I'm like mumbling at my trainer and stuff, and he just laughs at me because I just look at him. And he goes, you want to kill me with your eyes. I could just tell. Because I look at him and I'm just like, you jerk. You know, because he's wanting me to do stuff that I don't want to do. But why do I hire a trainer, guys? Because trainers are there to push you when you don't necessarily want to push yourself. as leaders, that's our job to do, is to push people when they're not willing to push themselves through that discomfort. So where we can help, hey, you can do it. And it's funny, he's like a cheerleader right there. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, a few more. Come on, you can get it. And then basically maybe assisting you when it gets tough, when you can't push anymore, where they assist you a little bit. And it's funny because I'm now on my 3rd week with the trainer. And not only can I see a major difference, not only can I feel a major difference, but the stuff that sucked the first week isn't the same level of suck, right? So like lifting a certain amount of weight and doing certain exercises the first week was way worse than the second week. And the 3rd week, it got easier. And then I can only imagine this will be the 4th week. It's going to get easier again. And the thing is that, what I'm also doing is I wanted to stop when it just got so bad to where my muscles were cramping up. And now if they're not totally cramping up like that, I'm doing extra reps and stuff like that. And I'm still cursing him out and telling him all kinds of mean stuff. But I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, you're good. And I'm like, I'm not done. And then I'm pushing harder because I know that the harder that I'm willing to push, the more I'm willing to stretch, the more I'm willing to step out of that comfort zone, the quicker and faster the success I'll have in my body will come. And guys, if you want success, you can't wish for everything to be easy. If you want success, you have to be willing to push when it's not easy. See, guys, when we went out there and paved the way and made this thing happen and proved the model and proved what was possible, it was not easy. In fact, many of you all that are getting started, we're hearing ladies talking about they've been involved for a month. Imagine you've been involved for a month and you still haven't gotten your product yet, right? Imagine getting started in product taking, sometimes 6 weeks for it to come in. How do you push through that stuff? Well, I don't have my product. Now people are complaining, oh no, my product has been 5 days or it's been 3 days. When is it going to come? And they're complaining. But guys, we push through stuff that many people wouldn't push through because what we were focused on is what does the end result look like? What does it look like at the finish line? What does it look like when we create the success that we said we wanted to do? And guys, I can tell you, it sure looks good when you start to see your life change. The way that so many people in this team's life has changed, it has been absolutely amazing what has been happening. So guys, I wanted to share all that to share this. Many of us, we are in a position right now, we have 10 days left of the month. You might not be where you want to be right now. You might even be looking at, well, we only have 10 days left in the month, and I don't know if I can, accomplish the goal that I had set and all that. Well, guys, it's not over until it's over. The month isn't over until the month is over, and you can still keep pushing. You could feel like the reps are getting tough and you can't push anymore, but I'm telling you, we're there to help you push that rep just a little bit more. Just push it a little bit more than what you can do. And guys, if you will push to the very end of the month, what it starts the next month out at is at a position, even if you don't hit the rank that you wanted to hit. It makes it so much easier starting the following month with the momentum, knowing that you gave it your all. And how do you feel like when you've done things and you maybe quit on yourself knowing that you had a little bit more in the tank? See, that's not an empowering feeling, but what feels good is when you're getting that workout and you know that you pushed it as hard as you could. You know that you basically stretched yourself as hard as you could be stretched, and you got the best workout that you can get, and the better the stretch, the more the burn, the more your muscles are going to build, guys. And it is a muscle building process of becoming a leader. It's doing it over and over and over when you don't see the results, right away. When you don't see it happen like overnight and you keep doing it anyway. So for many of us that might have, if you've ever gained weight and basically you might be heavier than you've ever gotten at one point. Well, guys, that didn't happen overnight. That took time for that to happen. It slowly happened to where, you know, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're like, holy crap, my clothes don't fit anymore. But guys, the same thing is true when it comes to working out and getting in shape. And you don't notice it today. You might not notice it tomorrow. You might not notice it big time a week or two from now. But guys, being consistent, like many of these ladies talked about today, and doing it when you don't necessarily see the result right now, like how about what if Gab would have just stopped when she wasn't seeing these people join right away? And basically, you know, Gabby just would have quit. How many people's lives wouldn't have been impacted if she would have gave because she wasn't seeing the results overnight? Well, guys, if you want to build muscles, if you want to basically get in shape, if you want to build a business, it's about doing daily disciplines repeated over time versus simple errors in judgment. You know, eating a Big Mac or eating an ice cream today, you're not going to notice a difference. Tomorrow, you won't notice a difference. The next day, you won't notice a difference. You do that every day for the next year and not move a whole bunch, and I promise you, you're going to notice a difference. You're going to notice that you're bigger than you've ever been. But it's the same thing is true if you just make a healthy choice every day, every day, every day, and move a little bit every day, every day, every day. It's not about working out 3 hours every day. It's about doing a little bit every single day. See, the key to becoming successful in this industry is to get a large group of people to do a few simple things over and over and over again. And why do we talk about 2 a day? Because guys, if you expose 2 new people today and you do 2 people tomorrow and 2 people the next day and 2 people the next day and 2, if you're only doing it 5 days a week, that's 10 exposures. What if you get, you know, through that time, over a month's period of time, you're doing, you know, 10 exposures a week. There's 4 weeks, that's 40 people that are being exposed, that you've shared your story, that you run through the system. Out of those 40 people, don't you think you'll get a few people that might want to, you know, become customers and some people that might want to become promoters? In doing that, and you teach them 2 a day, 2 a day, well, guess what? Now you're 10 a week, just turned into 30 a week if you have 2 other people doing it. Next thing you know, a few weeks later, you got 10 people doing it. Now you got 20 a day going out. Guys, next thing you know, you have 100 a day going out. Next thing you know, you have 1,000 people being exposed every single day. Guys, it's amazing when you have thousands of people in your organization and you see the numbers come in and it wasn't you that did it all. It's about getting a large group of people to do a few simple things over and over and over again. And that's why every single one of you all have what it takes to go out there and create the life and the success that you desire. With that being said, everybody have an awesome night. Take care. Thank you for all the value that you ladies brought onto the call tonight. We appreciate you all so much. And everybody have a nice night. I'm going to unmute everyone. You can say goodnight. Again, this will be posted. One, it's in Team Rise now, and it'll also be posted in zoomreplay.com. So with that being said, I'll unmute everybody. Good night, everyone.
Good
Night. Thank you.
Bless you all.
Good night. Good day.
Awesome.